inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, cause real women don't bitch, no. Real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. But let's get this bad boy started. So what's good, y'all? How y'all doing? Hey, ladies, this is August Crenshaw. You're at the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is the live recording that happens every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about anything and all things that matter to women in business, because everything gets touched. Our relationships, family, the whole nine. We go through some shit, right? And so this is where we have the hardcore conversations about the things that we're dealing with. And so I've had a lot of things happen to me within the last week, and it's had a lot to do with limitations and people imposing limitations on me. But I know that this isn't something that only I go through. And I also spent the entire week soaking in David Goggins' book, You Can't Hurt Me. And this man, every time he wanted to do something, there were people that were like, he had his haters of what he would or he wouldn't be able to accomplish. And, you know, he's considered to be one of the biggest badass Navy SEALs that has ever lived. And so even after all that he's done, when he went out to do greater things, like on social media, people would say, oh, this is why you can't do it. And I remember he told a story about a gentleman, those of you who are really into sports, who wanted to run a mile in under 4 minutes. And people were saying that there was no way in the world it could be done. And this gentleman was only 5'8". So he also didn't have the length of stride that was working on his behalf. And this person tried and failed. But nevertheless, he ended up doing it. It was in 3 minutes and 59 seconds. But then after that, many other people started doing it. And so the record was broken. And so some of you guys just need to realize that you're trailblazers. Some of you need to realize that you are going to start something new and that you're going to do something that nobody else has done before. And if you listen to the people that are around you that have never accomplished those things, then you could find yourself in a situation or a position where you are accepting the lies that they have told themselves for you. And so let me just really break down where this comes from. And 1 second, I'm also making sure that I have this open on my personal page too. So the comments start coming in, I can kind of toggle between the two. So you guys already know that I'm always willing to share nuggets from my own personal life to really nail this in and draw this home. And your experience may not be the same, but there will be something that you can relate to this. And so I'm going to say some things that are very, very sensitive. And I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about anybody else, but because I'm talking about, you know, health, life, wellness, and business and my philosophies. Sometimes when you listen to somebody and they say their opinions, you be thinking like, I don't agree with that shit, or where she come from with that, or listen, to each his own.
So number one, let's realize that I have always been extremely athletic. I've always been involved in something. Even I did marching band. So I'm doing, I'm holding a tenor saxophone and marching in the summer heat during band camp. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't necessarily have respect for something as simple as marching band, but it's not that easy. And could you imagine being in a ceremony that is anywhere from 30 minutes to over an hour, just standing at attention, not moving, not flinching, okay, holding that big, and holding that position it is something that required a lot of, discipline and a lot of strength. I've always roller skated. I've roller skated 4 or 5 times a week. And every time I would go, the minimum might be 2 hours, but typically I skated 3 hours every time that I went. And so anyway, it doesn't really make a difference what all of the stuff is that happened in the middle of it. There's some really juicy pieces to my story. But during my first marriage, things began to transition in my life. And one of the things that began to transition was my weight. And so I've been with my current husband now for 13 years. Let's really talk about this ugly, hard truth. And I promise you guys always, this is going to really tie back into limitations in your life and in your business. And we're going to really take this somewhere. But anyway, so I never got that under control. And so we're talking about something that's been going on for about 15 years, that every year, 5 pounds here, 2 pounds there, get a little bit upset with my body, go ahead and, do a little bit of workout, lose a little bit of weight, gain a little bit of weight. And I have made every excuse you could imagine in the book. Like, oh my God, it's just so hard to, really zero in on weight. My husband gets on my nerves because he always wants fried chicken, even if it's baked, I'm trying to eat less meat and have more vegetables. And it just seems like it's so crazy because I'm cooking 2 meals. I'm cooking for this side of the family and this side of the family. When it wasn't that, when my business started expanding, then the excuse was, well, I gotta, these clients, they're in different territories and I gotta have the calls at this time and it's inconvenient and I couldn't get the workout in at this time. And so then what do? Well, I'll just put it off until later. Later never comes. I don't want to do it, in the middle of the day. And so there's these excuses and I can go on and on and on. But all of a sudden, finally, in this season in my life, I was so spiritually convicted. And there's a lot of spiritual conviction behind it to do something about my weight. And not only that, but to also make it known public because there was a lot of shame around it. Now, everybody's not meant to do that. But for me, that's what it is. Some people, they think, oh, well, when you decide to take this journey, you need to, be in this zone. Look, y'all, I got this mirror in my bathroom and it's just filled with Post-its. I will not be a fat, sloppy motherfucker. My body is a calorie burning machine. I will only put, I will not put anything in my mouth that is not good for me. And, and I got all of these, I will work out every day for 90 days and so on and so forth. And so I got all this stuff that I'm doing. Right. And so there are a couple of things that came up for me. I had 2 different types of conversations where people impose the limitations. And so I want to talk to you about that. And so one individual was like, wait a minute, why do you want to lose so much weight? Because I got my goals, right? I got my little sticky tabs on my thing, pull it off. Every time you lose 5 pounds every week, take it off. And it's like, oh, if it comes off fast, it won't stay off and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what do they think that I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? They're not listening to what I'm saying. They're only listening to what they know. And see, a lot of you all have heard a message, whether it was from the divine or, whether it was from, something that you read that you hit your spirit and there's something that and there's something that you want to do, like that 3 minute, that under 4 minute mile that used to be unheard of until that man broke the record. And a lot of you all don't stick to what your goals are or what you say that you want to do because you listen to the limitations that everybody else puts on themselves. So then I had a couple of people talking about, oh my God, you're working out every day. You don't need to work out every day. And it doesn't have to, be this hard and all of this stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, now, some of these people that are telling me this are motherfuckers that don't even like to work out. And I'm just sitting there and I'm shaking my head. Because some of these people that are telling me this, I look at their approach to life and their approach to weight and how they'll let themselves slip. And so they're steadily trying to give me these different things that I could do for as a backup plan, just in case I fall off. I mean, how many of you got those people in your life, even if it's not health, it's business or whatever? Well, just in case this doesn't work, how about this? I mean, how many of you, instead of having those people with the backups, have looked at what you want and said, there is no fucking plan B. There is no fucking backup plan. When I say that this shit has to get done, this is what's going to get done. And I'm not stopping until I get it. I mean, how many of you have ever been in that place? But now you're in a season in your life where you need to be in that place again, but you're not in that place and you're letting the noise from everybody else dictate how you're moving. So let me explain some things, before anybody wants to give the pushback and, put on there, well, I'm a fitness coach and I do this and so on and so forth. Number one, me working out every day. See, you got to know why you're doing what you're doing. Me working out every day has nothing to do with trying to force myself to lose weight. It has to do with the fact that is part of the formula. Eating right is part of the formula too. But working out is part of the formula. But if I just was very intimate with you and I just shared with you that I used to make excuses not to work out because it was inconvenient, then guess what? I have to push past the inconvenience barrier. See, once you understand and you identify where you've fallen short, what are you going to do? You got to change three things: what you say, what you do, and what you think. And so for me, not only am I going to work out every day, but I'm going to work out at the most inconvenient, least desirable time, in the middle of the fucking afternoon. So you guys want to know, I was rushing to get myself ready for the podcast because I went to the park and I didn't start walking until 11:45. A little bit of running. I got to get my shit together. I don't like running, but part of my challenge is to do shit I don't like. And so to give myself an hour to be able to walk, run, and then have an adequate amount of time to stretch, I do at least 15 minutes after, and then head back and run to the grocery store, do all of these other miscellaneous things I'm going to do. I'm doing that every day because I'm training. I'm submitting my mind and my body and my spirit to the fact that there's never an inconvenient time and that this will be a part of your daily regimen. And so some of you've had these really crazy, wild ideas, and I don't know what that looks like for you, but there's something that you want to do. And you're like, I'm going to dedicate this amount of time. I'm going to do it this way. And there are people that'll tell you that it can't be done. It's like with my podcast. I was told podcasting is really hard. Coming up with content is really difficult. And that maybe, when I come out the gate, I should only do one podcast episode per week. I was in transition living with my in-laws because we left Houston after Harvey and was getting ready to move to come down here to Atlanta. When I announced that I would have a podcast that was launching November the 6th, I moved during the middle of that launch. And you want to know what happened? I had an epiphany that I should do a podcast for every fucking day for 90 days. Now, listen to me. Now, I had the epiphany, but on the practical side, let me tell you why it made sense for me to do this. Because on the practical side, podcasting is still relevant. It's still important. But what the fuck do you do to stand out from the noise when everybody's catching wind that they should start a podcast? Hundreds of podcasts are started every day, if not thousands. So if getting the eyeballs on you, then I said, I got to maximize it. I got to be in people's face. And I'm not going to be in people's face telling them, did you listen to Monday's podcast for a fucking week? Every day. So I put a challenge out that if people listen to my podcast every day for the first 90 days and they did everything that podcast said, that their fucking business would change. And guess what? I moved to Atlanta in the middle of doing that. And every Friday I had an interview. So not only that, in the middle of that, I am interviewing people, cutting and splicing, editing audio and all of that shit. See, what's wrong in society today, if you ask me my opinion, and I would love for somebody to come on and tell me how you feel about people putting limitations on themselves and life and all of that, is that we live in a weak ass society. See, when I think about life, and some of you guys have heard me say this before, because, people will be like, oh, my God, it's just about the ease and flow. And you know what? If that's good for y'all, then fine, do that. Do that. Be in the ease and flow. But I'm a beast. I'm a workhorse. That's what I do. Not because I'm trying to overwork myself, but damn, our people did more with less. We got technological advances in front of us that allow us to reach more people, do more things, but we can't seem to get more shit done. That doesn't make sense to me, but that's because we're weaker than we want to give ourselves credit for fucking being. There were people who sold more books by foot in a trunk of their cars than most of you can sell your books because you lazy and you only fucking relying on the internet. Yeah, you wrote a book and so you put a post on Facebook that you're gonna write a book. That was your pre-sale. Now you put a post out there that the book is available, and now you put a post out there to buy. You didn't even take the time to build a tribe. You know, if you built a tribe, you could do that shit. But some of y'all do this and you ain't even built a tribe. You ain't did anything. But then you want the expectation, like, man, writing books don't work. Oh, I just interviewed a woman who's a professional book writer who's going to be the next guest on a podcast coming soon. I'm interviewing her this Thursday or Friday, one of these days this week, for the official interview. And she makes great money. And then she also coaches and consults other people to write books. But that's because we live in a society where people are ready to give us the limitations. They're ready to tell us what can't be done. And so if you listen to people and you listen to what they're saying, then you will say, oh, I can't do this because I don't have this amount of education. I can't do this because I don't have this kind of support. I can't do this because typically and stereotypically that isn't done. And it amazes me how many people will talk to you and tell you what to do based off of the shit that they aren't doing. That's a big one to swallow, you guys. I know Pika will have a lot to say. I really fucking miss that she's not able to be here with us tonight, or rather this afternoon. LOL, it's tonight for her. But I want you to think about that. So what's one thing that you've said that you wanted to do as of late? Because what you need in your corner is you need people that's going to set you on fire and believe the impossible with you, because impossible is really a contraction for impossible. The word is actually wrong. I don't know how it ended up in the dictionary. It's a misprint. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be I'm possible, not impossible. That's what it stands for. I had a client that couldn't pay her bills. And it looked like it was impossible for her to turn her situation around. But in 30 days, not only was she able to pay her bill, she was able to trick off some money and enjoy herself for a change. And her kids were able to look at her and say, Mama, you smiling again. I had a woman that didn't even have a business model, just had a concept, and the concept was jacked off, but was able to build a business and walk away from a company that was stifling the crap out of her in 9 months. I didn't tell her, girl, look, don't nobody start no business and don't have no audience and don't have no this. I said, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. Let's look at what it really is. Let's look at these numbers. Let's look at these statistics, and let me show you what's coming up against you. And now if you really want this shit, this is what it's going to look like. This is what you got to do. And then as a coach, we was on ride or die together. You guys have no idea how many people actually come to me and they are in the thick of losing everything. I have a lot of people that will do all kinds of stuff. I've had people sell cars, do all kinds of stuff in order to be able to work with me because they know that I believe in impossibilities. I don't limit myself, which means that I will not limit other people, which is why any and everybody can't work with me, because when I turn up the heat, some people are going to be like, August, you're doing too much. But my question is, are you really enjoying life? Or are you living in mediocrity? Are you really giving it everything that you've got? Or are you giving it enough just to be able to survive every day? That's the real question. Because when you sit back and you look and you imagine what would life would be like if I had this, if I was traveling here, if I went there, if I did this, or if my business blew up, if my life was like this, or my health was like that. Every time you think what if, you also should look yourself in the face and say, but what am I not doing? What does my boy E.T. say all the time? Everybody want to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. And the only limitations that we have are the ones that we impose upon ourselves. Every day there's somebody who decides that, I'm going to make a life change, and bam, they turn the kill switch off to doubt and turn on the living switch, and they do whatever it is that they have to do, even if that's becoming a marathon runner with no training. or whatever it is. That's the kind of crazy shit that David Goggins did and plenty of other people. I'm reading a book again called the Namas and Niyamas for the yogic principles. And there was a gentleman in there who was just like, oh, I just want to do this. And that's what he did. And he was a middle-aged man. What are your limitations that you're putting on yourself? You know, I see there aren't any comments coming in today. I know that sometimes the topics make you think, you know, and I don't know if anybody wants to come in here in particular and say anything. And I'm not going to hold you all. If not, you know, we can pretty much leave this where it is. But I really, really want to know, have you taken the time to really challenge yourself? Because what happened with me is I looked and I said, dang, August, you are a beast in every area of your life, but this one place. And I'll be honest. Oh God, you putting up the angry things. Is there a technological issue, Camille? Or I don't know, girl, that can mean so many things. Oh my God. Oh, wait a minute. That was my fault. If you mad because your comments not showing that the thing, my laptop, but it's still technology. Let me see what we got here. I set reminders for quick fixes in my phone to move and move often. Crunches, jump rope, weights, push-ups. Yes. And let me tell you something. Somebody else, you know what Lisa Nichols used to do? She had a thing where she said every time she went to the bathroom, I don't remember the number, but she'd have to do like 10 or 20 squats. You know what I'm saying? To the point where you just like, you need to fall back in love with yourself. And I'm going to come back. I'm going to say something spiritual about weight loss too. You said I word vomited one of my big ideas on the phone with a girlfriend the other day, then had the nerve to put a date on it with my brother. Guess it's time to move. You damn Skippy it is. And think about it. You saw Master P and his first CDs. Yes, absolutely. Whew. And he was told that what he wanted, that 85-15 deal, he was told that would never be done. But he saw his value. And so that's what's wrong, is that a lot of you all don't see your value. You don't see your strength. And so if you're always looking for something externally to let you know what you can do, a pat on the back, an award, you know, an acknowledgement, then that's one of the reasons why you won't move. You could have word vomited a big idea to your girlfriend on the phone, and the conversation could have been like, yeah, I could see that happening when the time is right. That's an example of limiting conversation versus saying, hell yeah, if anybody should do it, you should do it. See, that's how you know the difference. Like, imagine me literally saying, I want to lose 5 pounds every week from now until a couple weeks before my birthday, because my gift to me this year is my body. Fuck that shit, August. Man up and get your shit back together, because the bottom line is you've been a beast in every facet of your life, but in this area, you a fat, sloppy motherfucker. Fix it. That's how I feel about me. I don't care if you weigh more or less than me. You might not like that. I ain't talking about nobody. I'm just talking about my damn self, right? Because I know what I'm capable of looking like and what I'm supposed to look like and what I'm capable of doing. I also know that I don't want to die before my business does, because if I don't get my health in check, my business is going to die for my inability to be able to show up. I am my fucking business. And a lot of you entrepreneurs, no offense, you just walking around here and you still eating Zuzus and Wham Whams, and you know good and damn well you need to get your act together, because if you don't, you're going to lose your business due to burnout. And many of entrepreneurs have done it before. You will not be the first, and you will not be the fucking last. But see, a lot of you all, what you do is you get to talking to people and they say shit to you and they be like, oh, well, you know, I understand, girl. See, y'all got a lot of pat you on the back. It's okay, motherfuckers, in your life. It's okay if you didn't get it. See, let me give you the scenarios of what happened. So here it is, 5 pounds every week. And honestly, I got the little sticky note right here on my own. I keep it right here next to my desk. To December 13th is the deadline. And somebody can sit there and say to me, August, that is absolutely crazy. Plenty of people do it all the time. One woman told me, you know, if it come out fast, it ain't gonna stay out. Get the fuck out of here. You don't work out. I work out. I'm taking care of myself. Don't fucking tell me what's not possible, what's not going to do. Now, this person, I like her. You know what I'm saying? She just was talking from where she is in her state of mind. But still, I'll know whether or not she rides with the spirit of negativity or if she rides with the spirit of positivity. I see you, girl. I'm feeling you. Yes, we together in this shit. Think about this, though. So let's just say December 13th hits and all I lost was 45 pounds. I lost half of what I wanted. The kind of person that has limited conversation that you need to get the fuck away from you will say something like, Hey, not bad, but you know, losing that 90, that was going to be hard. See, that's that limiting spirit around you. A motherfucker that's a beast is going to be like, damn, if anybody could have got that 90 August the way you crank out shit, I knew it was going to be you. Yeah, convict my motherfucking ass. Because you want to know something? A lot of times the same people that's patting you on the back, oh, girl, then you be sitting there thinking to yourself, I did eat them motherfucking crackers in that one night. I did have that popcorn at one time. I wasn't supposed to do it. If it's your business, you be sitting there saying, yeah, I know I wasn't consistently posting. I didn't really, put no promos out there. When I did, I never did a call to action. But then I'm sitting here expecting my program to be full of whatever it is, where somebody else, oh, girl, it's okay. They just don't know who you are. I can't believe didn't nobody sign up for your stuff. That's because people don't even want to do the work for real. No, motherfucker, you didn't really do your work for real. So no, the people that needed to know about your shit didn't know about your shit. It is so fucking easy. It's always easy to pass stuff on to other people. And I refuse to be the person in your life that will ever give you the oh my God, it's okay. Yeah, there's times for compassion. Yeah, there's moments when you have to, hold back and, give somebody a chance to breathe. But then after that, is you coming back? What the fuck you gonna do? Get your shit together. So you got the person that says, I told you it was going to be hard, but congratulations. Or the person, if anybody could do it, you could do it. And then the extra icing on the cake would be the person that says, so what now? You didn't get it by that deadline, so try again. Because like with David Goggins in the book, he wanted to break the pull-up bar record for over 4,000 pull-ups, 4,021 to be exact, in a 24-hour period. The first time he did it, y'all, you can Google his hands. You can see the skin tearing off to the dermis. That's how off he pulled. He tried once. He tried twice. He had to do it 3 times. You see what I'm saying? But because if another person has never done what you've done, or even hasn't just overcome, insurmountable odds, they're not going to be the person to be there with you to be like, squad up. What's up? What are we going to do? And you want to be around people that are going to inspire you to more thought, like, dang, not only should I do that, oh, I should do this too. Like in the AC Live group, y'all need that. The people that's already in the AC Live networking website, so y'all already know, in order to take this to the next level, I'm already thinking about the fitness group. You understand? The fitness group. What we going to do so we can make sure we crank this out together, and not just a group where you can go in and you can post, but hell, a group. Because here's the funny thing, right? A lot of times the things that's the biggest challenge for you, there's something else that's inside of it. There's something else that's inside of it. Had to take responsibility for your own life. Yes, nobody to blame. Oh, hey, Judy Boo. So on my networking site, you know what? I'm going to have to go ahead and do a group, and it's only going to be for working out. And I'm going to go, because at the end of the day, when it comes to form, different types, the different types of exercises you do to sculpt particular parts of your, you want your delts and your triceps and biceps, all this shit. You want your hamstrings, your quads on point. Oh yeah, we finna get busy. Because the successful entrepreneurs make sure that every part of their business is what they do and what they love. And I ain't even talking about nothing that's for free. I'm just talking about the fact that if we got a hub where people are willing to come in and say, well, here I am, and this is what I did today, and then to see me physically be accountable. Some of you that are letting people speak limitations over your life and what you can't do, that if you were start doing it, you don't understand, you'd like be this huge ass fucking light. And other people would be like, damn, if she can do it, I can do it too. But you got so many people in your ear, and I get it, right? Maybe they're talking because they're trying to prevent you from, missing something. We can always take what is basically seemingly negative feedback and then say, okay, are they trying to let me know something that I don't know? Maybe they did try it and they didn't make it. But instead of being humble and saying you can do it, even though I did it, but these are some of the pitfalls I had to look out for. You could either dig deeper and ask them questions to get them to man up to own this shit, or you could be like, I'll keep that in mind. I sure will. Okay. So if I do it this way, you tell, okay, well, I did some research and this is the only thing that I need to do in order to circumvent that, so that you could be better prepared, but definitely not knocked off your pivot. Be better prepared, but not knocked off your pivot. So what are your limitations in life? What are your limitations in business? What things in your life are messed up that you need to change the people that are in your circle because they keep on making excuses for you to be that way? Girl, it's okay. You know how it is when we get older, our metabolism changes. Oh, girl, you know, it's okay because you know how Facebook is. Every time you turn around, the algorithm is changing. Everything is always changing. We all are always changing, but are you always growing? Are you always getting? Are you always knocking shit out the box? Are you always making shit happen? Shit, every presidential candidate is always talking about they running because it's about change. All of that shit is bullshit. It's excuses. Why is everybody, oh, well, you know, they had a head start. Oh, you know, they started their YouTube channel back when YouTube channels were popping. Oh, yeah, well, you know, they were writing books when more people were reading. Oh, yeah, well, you know, people were, no. If it's been put down in your spirit to start a business, to do a thing, to change something personally in your life, it doesn't make a difference what in the hell is going on in the world. It only makes a difference with what's going to happen with you. I had somebody that I know, she's like, dang it. Somebody came out with a yoga app for Black people first. I missed it. You didn't miss shit. Get your shit together so you could be the next motherfucker to do it. How, you know, it's amazing to me the poor self-talk that we have. Why the fuck did Rihanna come out with a makeup line if L'Oreal and Maybelline and MAC and Sephora and Bella and or whatever the name of it? It's so many, you know, the all family dollar brands, whatever. It's never too late. It's never too much. Everything is fucking saturated, you guys. Every single thing in the marketplace is saturated. Everything has too much of somebody that's already doing it. There are more than enough doctors than we need. You know what I'm saying? There are very few things that you catching in when it first starts moving. But what would make what you're doing different? What would make it sweeter? What's that intuitive thing that you stop listening to, that you're not riding with, so you're not rolling forward? I already know, don't nobody want to come on here live with me and come on. I want to know if anybody's willing to say, you know what, here's this one thing that I knew that I was supposed to do. Or here's this one thing in my life that I need to change. And let me come in here, even though people across the globe don't even know who the hell you are, that might be listening to this in Egypt or some doggone where, who's willing to come and say, this is what I promise that I'm going to change in my life. This is what's going to be different. And I'm going to stop listening to the naysayers. What's the comment you saying? 6 months later, Rihanna's clothing line was at Fashion Week. Exactly. The woman is in beast mode. How many more luxury lines do we need? But she coming out with her own. What's the joke now? What's the joke now? Burger King, you the king of burgers, but now you making tacos? Why didn't you just buy out Taco Bell? What the hell? I hope you got a better kind of fake meat, whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Be innovative. You know, even if it's a flop, even if their tacos flop, 6 months from now, people are like, I told you. They shouldn't have never tried to sell tacos. But at the end of the day, whoever is up there in Taco Bell has said, you know what? We find maybe they did some fucking research. Maybe they have realized that a half of their demographic, the daddy want the burger, but the kids want the tacos. What if they know some shit we don't know? And so now instead of parents having to go to 2 restaurants, they gonna make them only have to make 1 trip. And now you're going to buy your tacos and your burgers at the same place. What if they fucking geniuses, not idiots, and we all are for laughing at them? I'm just saying. You say 50 for me driving. Man, for real. So, you know, that's pretty much it today, y'all. So my thing that I had to face was the limitations that people were trying to put on me health-wise. Real talk. You know, I had people trying to tell me what is and what ain't possible, what I can and what I cannot do. And not one person ever said, let me look at the caliber of August. You know, as a coach, every single person that I work with, I always look at them and I look at what do they want? What do they want to do? And how fast do they want to achieve that goal? And then from there, I tailor make my advice. If somebody's really just trying to get their ideal and concepts off the ground, I don't push them every 5 seconds. You ain't promoting, you ain't doing this. It's like, okay, ease into it. You tell me that you want to leave your job in a year. What the fuck you doing? Come on now, hustle up. Real conversation. But what I don't do is sit there and say, oh, I ain't never worked with nobody on this before, so I can't do it. Les Brown said it best, that doctors shouldn't say that there's no cure for cancer, that they should say that your disease has, surpassed my intellectual ability or my professional ability to be able to help you. You got to get somebody else to help. Because if Dr. Sebi was still here, then cancer cured. Hello. So you say I'm easing back into it. Yes, Judy. Yes. I love hearing that. You already know it. Ease back into it so I can give me another one in January. Well, I need to order it before January so I have it by then. Yes. Y'all. Okay. I ain't going to put you on spotlight just yet because you said you're easing back into it. Because you know me, I'll tell everybody they need to come to you. Because I love Judy and I love her integrity and I love the way that she works. So that's it. I love y'all. I'm not going to keep y'all all day. Check your circle. Get rid of the people. She got me. Woohoo! Yes. And they're so freaking cute. Oh, God, they're so cute. So anyway, listen. Check your circle. Look. See what I'm saying, Judy, girl? People want you. You can be like me, too. And look, just like last time, too. Just like last time. I still got my rings and everything. So I got the whole kit, got the whole body. It ain't going nowhere. Anyway. So, y'all, I'm excited for y'all. I really wanted, maybe somebody will come back and watch this later that's listening to the podcast live and is willing to be a bold enough soul and put a comment in and say, this is the limitation that I put on myself. I've limited myself with the lies and the excuses because of my family, my spouse, my job, my time limits, the internet, the algorithm, whatever it is. And go ahead and challenge yourself. Go back and look at your circle. See if they bring out the best in you. See if they also step back and see your greatness and hold you to that expectation. Because if the divine dropped that crazy ass idea off in your mind, guess who can pull it off? It's like really fucking simple. You. And so anybody that says anything that is less than great, either have the challenging conversation with them to, okay, I see you in these streets. Have the challenging conversation. Because I did with one of the people, I was like, hey, you telling me all these things that didn't work for you, but you're not speaking directly to my situation. And so that makes me think that you believe more in that than you believe in me. And yeah, you do, but I'll let you do it in due season. That's why, I ain't gonna lie. I was hoping you was gonna be one of the people that was gonna come on here really quick and say something. But it like I said, everything in due season, beautiful. For those of y'all that are listening to the podcast, somebody said I need to make mine more public though, because they put it somewhere in social media, but they need to make it more public. But anyway, for 2 seconds I lost my train of thought, but doing something radical, doing something different, doing something above and beyond what the average people are doing today. We got to get back to that place. We have too many technological advances. We have too many things at our disposal that have made us be able to move in light years. And our ancestors, our predecessors, they did more with less time, less technology. We're weak. People don't want to hear we're weak. And so people will start, oh my God, you're working too hard. You're hustling. No, I'm not. I'm just doing what I'm built to do. If it's not what you're built to do, then don't give me that. But have the challenging conversation with the people that tell you what you can't do, just to make sure that, because sometimes people need to understand that that's what they're doing to you. And if they still say it and they're just stuck, well, I hear you, but I'm still just saying, okay, bye, Felicia. And if they say, dag, dog, I didn't even think about that. But like, if you then, we're patient with people. But before you draw your conclusions, right, you have to have conversations with people. And the ones that got your back that say, do that shit, them the kind of people you want around you, kind of like the video I did the other day, Does She Set Your Soul on Fire? I have women around me that expect me to do impossible things. And I feel the fear and I do it anyway. So you guys have a beautiful day. I love you all. Remember, every Monday, we do the podcast recording live via Facebook, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to keep on cranking this bad boy out. And anybody is welcome at any given time to also come on the episode and to speak, inquire, ask questions, debate. It could be a good debate, an ugly one. Who cares, right? We ain't got to agree. We can get shitty. Who cares? But you're more than welcome to tune into the conversation. And in the meantime and in between time, you guys have a very fruitful week. And you will hear more podcasts throughout the week. And I'll see you next week. Deuces.
Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendon'tbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar.